Hey guys, so today we're going to jump into Adobe Fresco to begin a still life painting. Adobe Fresco is a much more advanced program than Adobe Draw, and it has a lot of options. So when you open this app, you're going to go ahead and start a new document, and we're going to go with current screen size. So you can see on the left-hand side, there are a lot of tools, and then on the right-hand side, you see your layers. So for this assignment, I want to focus on a specific area of brushes and tools so that we don't get overwhelmed. On the left-hand side, the second brush down, this is going to be live brushes. So you have two options in terms of paint for this brush. You can choose watercolor or you can choose oil paint. So we're going to go with oil for this project. Now, before we even start working on our still life, I would love for you to go in and simply click on these brushes and see what they look like. So that'll give you just a better idea of what to grab when. Some are detail brushes, some are much softer, and this glaze brush is like really thick. There's a chunky brush and a short brush, and all of these brushes can also change in size. So it can be much smaller or much larger depending on what you need. And the flow is different. So the flow is going to be like how much paint essentially is coming out of your brush. So that's kind of like your opacity. And then this little spiral is going to be the amount your paint mixes. So let's say I get another color in here. You can have your paint mix a little, so keeping the colors pretty separate, or you can have your paint mix a lot. So that's really gonna start to smudge that black and maroon red together. So you're gonna get dramatically different results. This is totally something you'll just get the hang of, and playing with these is a really good way to understand just how they work. There's so many options. So I'm going to click on this layer that we were just playing with, and I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And now on the left-hand side, I'm going to go to the picture, and I'm going to grab the still life photo that I staged here at my house to get started. So it's going to load up that image very slowly. Here we go. And I'm going to actually just kind of pinch so I can see a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and drag. I'm going to drag that down, and I'm going to start painting. So what's cool about this specifically, I'm going to grab the filbert brush, okay? Now I'm going to click and hold, and you can see that it's gonna grab whatever color I have. So this is pure magic. This is one of the really cool things about this program. You have undo again at the top. As you zoom in, don't forget you probably want to change your brush size. And I'm going to start painting over my pear. So I just kind of chose that green yellow color, and I'm gonna see how it actually has a texture of canvas. Is really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit bigger, and I'm going to grab that more shadowy yellow. I'm gonna click and hold again, and kind of like filling in over top of it. I'm also going to be very careful in this program to paint each thing on a separate layer. So I'm going to paint this pear on a different layer than the aloe, than the table that it's all sitting on. I'm going to use different layers so that way I can make changes to those specific areas and not worry about losing the good work that I did. So much like when you're working in Photoshop, very much the same. So I'm just gonna run through this really quickly because I want to show you kind of what it looks like once you take away the photo. So let's see really quick. Add a tiny bit more shadow here. Okay, so you can kind of see it there, but I'm gonna go ahead and click on my background photo, and here you can see what it looks like without it. So I might even spend some time now working without my photo. I might grab a bigger brush. Ooh. And play with kind of the mixing. I'm gonna like lower the flow but mix more, so you can kind of see how that acts like paint, which is just so really cool. So I don't want you to be at all overwhelmed. But really spend this class period just playing with the brushes, with picking colors. I'm gonna come up here now and grab some green and start playing with the aloe, keeping in mind that you can move. You certainly don't have to, you know, stay zoomed in or zoomed out. It's definitely to your advantage to choose a simple image for this first go here. If you have not used this program, I am so new to drawing and painting on the iPad, so I require a lot of time and space to really play with it. Don't, you know, feel discouraged if you get really frustrated. I get frustrated too, and sometimes have to really take breaks. So definitely don't feel like, you know, you should know what you're doing right away. It takes a lot of time and a whole lot of patience to feel comfortable with these apps. But I know some of you are all-stars and have used them quite a bit, but it's definitely different for each of us. So yeah, what you'll do at the end of today is simply screenshot what you've got. Wherever you are at the end of today, I like to see your whole image as well as the layers on the right hand side. So make sure that you just screenshot that where you're at. I'm, you know, expecting 30 minutes a day. So don't feel like you have to complete that whole painting in a day. As you can see, you know, 10 minutes here on this pair, and I still have a whole lot of work to do. And don't feel like you can't jump around either. You can certainly, you know, switch between what you're working on, so you can totally, if you feel frustrated with the pear, move over to a different space. Play around with the backgrounds, okay? So I expect you to try and to have fun. I really hope that it is enjoyable for you. And I cannot wait to see what you all submit.